Previously on Sailing Adrift, we anchored outside the town of Laredo and rented a car to do some heavy provisioning and explore all the way up into the hills.
It's weird they won't let me drive in the States, but they'll let me drive in Mexico, huh, Kell?
We toured an old mission that was founded in 1699 and saw an olive tree over 300 years old, all in the quaint little town of San Javier. We also got the parts to get our dinghy back up and running. And that was a huge success. So now we're back to being self-sufficient.
So glad our outboards are back up and running, because while it was awesome for the Beluga crew to give us rides, you feel like you're beholden to their schedule, just like out of nature, because they're the ones hauling you around. And with floater back up and running, I can come and go as I please. Plus Kelly has to work all day, so it's not like I'm hurrying back for anything. She appreciates it while I'm gone. What can you do?
Meanwhile, back at camp.
So this morning, Chris was in a mad hurry to get a bunch of stuff done while I started my work meeting. And because you felt a little rushed, I think he may have overlooked some steps. This is what happens when your husband decides to do the laundry. The through hole for the washing machine was not open, and so water was just puddling here on the floor. Fortunately, I noticed it. I was able to put a towel down before it got too crazy. But now the bottom of my bedding's a little wet, and there's a nice seeping puddle here, and we've soiled a towel. So, classic example of how things take a little more patience, time, consideration, and effort when you live on a boat. Every chore becomes another chore somehow. I'm gonna mop this up and then get back to work. Not a big deal, it's just kind of annoying.
Now back over to Chris.
I've got most of my stuff done, but I was really smart in the fact that the first thing I bought was frozen mackerel to use as fish bait. It hasn't been the worst thing in the world because it's slowly melting, thus cooling off my back, but I'm starting to smell myself. It's not a fragrance I think people appreciate coming from a man.
And would a woman be better?
What I've been trying to chase down is a wrench that is 15/16 for our engine, because one of my injectors is a little loose and I'm on a bit of a runaround. But I did get some PVC to use as fishing rod holders, and I got my mackerel, I got some fishing lures, I got a piece of hose I can use to siphon with. So I'm knocking out a lot of my list, or at least making it work. And then I'm gonna get some food, and I'm thinking Chinese food. I know it's weird, but I've been craving something like that for a while, and there's a few places right around here. Here we go. Perfect. He didn't have it. I gotta go 16-minute walk to get to the place that might. Luckily it's going back towards the Marina, so it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to pick up while I'm over on this side, and I can't think of anything other than something to drink.
And then, roughly 16 minutes later, something remarkable happened.
Well, I walked my happy ass all the way to this one, and success, they had it. Yay, we're all set. Back to the boat to collect Kelly. I guess it's getting a little rolly in the anchorage. So we're gonna grab her and head back in and get something cool to drink while she keeps working. Then maybe grab us some dinner while we're in town. Basically in Laredo, the afternoons get quite rolly, and then it settles back down at night. That's been our experience so far. Heading to go collect Kelly. A little rough out here. You can see Kelly rocking and rolling while she gets the laundry in. She's de-gypsifying our boat.
Chris then rescued me from the roll after we attempted to detangle our stern anchor line. That's a whole story. And then we headed over to shore.
We escaped the boat.
Yeah, we did.
I go to rescue Kelly. I was gonna put out a stern anchor. First time we opened the stern anchor, and the freaking thing just was like one giant knot, and Kelly saved the day. She undid the whole thing.
Not by myself.
All I did was hold my arm and put line on it like when your grandma like winds yarn. Anyway, we had to do that. We had to get the boat all ready. It's still rocking out there, but it's getting better. So we're hoping hang out in here, grab a bite to eat. By the time we get back to the boat, it'll be comfortable. We're gonna go to La Mission Hotel. They're supposed to have pizza and a pool that we can hang out by. There's the Laredo sign. So our plan was to come here for happy hour, but that came and went quite quickly. And we also wanted to swim. That's still a possibility, but it's getting smaller every second. So we'll see how this all pans out.
Might just get some pizza and have a beer. Oh, that looks really good.
It really does. It's a wood-fired pizza.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be so good. I'm so excited.
Oven? It's like a wood fire oven. So right over there.
See that dome? That's the oven. This wood-fired chorizo, jalapeno, onion, and bean pizza, called La Mexicana, gets a solid 4 stars from me. But the toppings totally slipped off, so eat this with a fork.
They let us relax by the pool for a while. Pretty lovely.
As we sat there relaxing by the pool, semi-dreading returning to our rocking boat, we came up with an idea.
We're on a mission right now. We realized that we had one opportunity here in Laredo to provision for the 4th of July.
Great. Like hot dogs.
Apparently hot dogs
And
or some sort
marshmallows.
of... No, yeah, okay. We made it and it appears to be open. Let's go get some hot dogs and marshmallows. Pretty successful run, though, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
We got some Doritos, which is very American.
Uh-huh.
We got hot dogs and hot dog buns. They're more like sausages, but they're gonna be delicious.
We headed back to the marina to climb into the dinghy and head back to Drifter for the evening.
Yeah, glad that's not locked. To the dinghy!
These are the kinds of situations that prevent you from getting too drunk on date nights.
Got in there with your Doritos?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
After that experience, we learned to pack headlamps for our nightly excursions.
This morning we say goodbye to beautiful Laredo. Didn't love anchoring outside of Laredo. Last night was pretty rolly, and it's been pretty rolly a few times, but where we're headed should be quite nice. We're headed to San Juanico, just 24 nautical miles up the coast, and it's a nice, well-protected anchorage. How you doing, dude?
Good. Just getting the nets off.
Come on in. Kelly needs like permission to do things.
No, I don't.
Oh, ready to get the hookup?
Yeah.
And go.
Let's do that.
All right, let's do it.
After pulling the snubber off, we use a series of hand signals and some gestures to get the anchor all the way up. Then I secure everything in place on deck. Success!
Hasta Laredo!
We headed out on a rolly 24 nautical mile passage north, up to San Juanico. It should take us just under 5 hours. It was an odd feeling to be sailing along this close to shore and actually seeing all the way to the bottom. The waters were starting to get more clear the further we went.
This is Isla Coronado. It is one of the protected islands that you have to have a permit to be able to go on and explore and do the hikes and things like that. We are saving that for next season. So we will be back, Isla Coronado. Way over there, there's a bunch of cool anchorages. That is Isla Carmen. Again, we're gonna go check that out next season. I cannot believe how clear this water is. Look at that, it's freaking amazing. So we're just gonna head up the coast, and right about there-ish is a little cut called San Juanico. Very popular anchorage. There is a cruiser's shrine where people make bits and bobs and hang them from a tree to record their visit. Hey, we might do that too. We'll see. We'll have to see what we can come up with. Just coming into San Juanico.
And it is windy.
27 knots right now. There was a southern tropical depression that we're just now starting to feel here. So we're hoping we can tuck in close and be comfortable. But, man, not looking good so far. This is the anchorage.
Yeah, we were hoping conditions here would be better, but so far this is actually worse than where we were in Loretto. Proof that the grass isn't always greener. Despite this, we were tired, and we really just needed to hit the pause button and take a break. So we dropped the hook anyway.
The wind is coming from just east enough to not offer us much protection here. It's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest. We'll see how we settle in, but I am not really in the mood for this all day.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be this wild, but we'll see how it shapes up. This is probably the worst, in the afternoon.
Fortunately, we were right about that. The worst part was the afternoon wind and swell. Things started to calm down as night fell.
So much calmer than when we came in. Looks like we might actually get some good sleep tonight.
We gave it some time, and about 2 days later, conditions had dramatically improved.
Since arriving in San Juanico, Kelly and I haven't even left the boat, and that was not yesterday, but the day before. She had work to do, and I just kind of puttered around the boat doing some projects, but we're gonna change that today. We're gonna go for a paddle around the bay. I will see you on the water, Kelly.
Okay.
So we're gonna paddle along the shore. This water is like crazy. It is so nice today. It's like it's fate.
We leisurely paddled around and over to shore. The landscape of this anchorage seemed really unique compared to where we had been previously. There was a lot of variation in the surrounding rock formations.
It's pretty cool. Don't you think, Kelly?
Yeah, I think that's way cool.
Isn't that way cool, Kelly?
Way cool.
We ended up paddling all the way across the bay, which was about 1.6 nautical miles. Once ashore, we hiked around a bit with the whole beach to ourselves.
I think this is a great spot. Look at all that protection. I don't know how deep it is though.
After experiencing the pleasant weather on this side, we decided to pick up the hook and make a move.
And we're moving across the bay over to where the catamaran is. So we said hi to them this morning, and now we are totally invading their space. It's a quick trip, no judgments. Coming in.
Since we weren't sure of the depth over here, as soon as we were secure, Chris got in the water to check where our keel was, in relation to the bottom. Hopefully, we have some wiggle room to accommodate the tides.
Bye. Bye, Scuba Steve.
We appear to be okay. Chris reports we have about 4 feet of clearance from the sandy bottom. Then Chris went to go check on our anchor, which is something we don't typically do, but this weather and water is pleasant enough.
That's where our anchor is?
Yeah, right below me. It looks great.
Nice.
We moved, and we're in a lot better protection. The north side has a ton of reefs right out here and swell blockers, and it is way better than I thought it would be. And right there is the cruiser's shrine.
We'll be checking this out tomorrow. Later that evening, we enjoyed a very attractive sunset as the boat gently swayed with the breeze.
Only one neighbor, and they've been pretty quiet. I'm so glad we moved. It's nice having our own little oasis. This is unreal. So calm. Yeah, that was a good choice. Chris is down here cooking us a pizza. Fresh out of the oven. It's pretty bomb. A labor of love.
Yeah, we used Mexican flour, and I'll tell you, it didn't seem right. And then I looked it up, and Mexican flour has a over milling problem, which causes like basically a breakdown of gluten to the point where you can't like get to stretch like before. So this is probably gonna fall apart.
Oh, well, it looks delicious. And it smells good too.
The pizza did fall apart, but the flavor was delicious. Being so sleep deprived, I slept like a rock that night. However, Chris did not. He was up dealing with some stuff.
What do you got there?
Vendor delivery.
Did you find one loose on the beach? That looks like one of ours. Yeah, we lost a fender last night when we hit bottom. I haven't even told you that story yet. Here we go! So last night, at about 11:30 in the PM, I was getting ready to tuck myself in and go to bed. I tend to go to bed a lot later now than I ever used to. You know, they talk about cruisers midnight, but that does not factor in heat. So it takes until about, man, what would you say, like 10:30 to actually start feeling comfortable on the boat? Yeah. To the point where you could actually think of sleeping. And so right about 11:30, I was gonna kill the inverter and go to bed. And I felt gunk. I was like, gosh, are we hitting the ground? So I go outside, and I'm hoping we're not, but we are. We're hitting the ground, and the wind's changing direction, and this catamaran right here is getting dangerously close to us. So I keep going out and checking on things, out and checking on things. We're kind of sitting like this. Their boat is backing towards us as the wind shifts. And so I throw all the fenders out over the top of our bow roller and the front of the boat, just in case.
Wait, isn't that why you checked our depth earlier? To make sure this wasn't going to happen?
We were this close to making it in this area, but I've now decided, it was a sandy bottom, so I wasn't too terribly worried about it. But now I've decided, unless we are at 10 feet at high tide, we really shouldn't be pushing, trying to anchor anywhere. Even 10 feet it gives us about an extra, with the tide shifts here of about 3.5 to 4 feet. It puts us right on the cusp. We got through it. I think we finally came off the ground at about 2:30 in the AM. We moved. That's why we are where we are now. And when we were releasing those fenders this morning to put them away, one of them got away from us. So Kelly went and tracked that down.
Later that morning, we got ready to head out and do some more exploring.
We're gonna go on a bit of a hike, and then we're gonna maybe sit on the beach and try to find some shade and beat the heat out here. Ready to go, my dear?
Yes, I am.
We floated in on our trusty paddle boards with our minimal hiking gear in tow. We set off, and as usual, no real idea where we were going.
Oh, cool. There's a trailhead marker. Hiking, 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 hiking in the heat. Wear good hats when you're hiking in the heat. I am a moron. I don't have a hat. What hat would look cool though? Like, I have two criteria for my head coverings. One, extremely vain. Like, you're going to use the word vain, and then you're going to add the adjective extremely to that. That's me. I'm extremely vain. That's a little harsh, bro. Do you have a touch of vanity? I'll accept that. I do want my hat to be cool and work, but it can do both. That's what I'm saying.
And if you have any suggestions for this fashionista, drop us a line in the comments below.
I'd be interested. I think we found the road proper, Kelly. This is another anchorage, and there's a boat. I could see it. It's a good spot. We should go check it out. We will. That's where we're headed. Well, I think we found something, Kelly. Wow.
Yeah.
And there's a monohull out there, so you know the depth is fine. Nice beach.
This beach is called Bahia San Basilio. And later we learned it's a protected releasing grounds during turtle hatching season, which obviously isn't happening right now.
Well, cool. Should we continue on our walk? After finding this spot, it should just keep getting better, right? We walked up the road a ways. We quickly realized we have no idea where it's going.
Since our water supply is now gone, and it's hot as balls out, we decide to head back. On our way back, we stopped at the beach to take in the view and check out the cruiser shrine we've heard so much about.
Behind me is the infamous cruiser shrine of San Juanico, and we're about to add to it. We need to come up with something really cool though, because there's a lot of cool crap in here.
We had heard about this shrine from several other cruisers who had been here and left their mark. Now it was our turn. The opportunity felt really surreal. We felt compelled to leave a piece of us and Drifter that would last a good long time. As the sun went down, we slowly made our way back to the boat for the evening. This calm night on the water would be absolute bliss. The next morning, we got right to work on our offering to the cruiser shrine. After all, what's boat life without some kind of project?
Here you go.
Cool.
Now we get to hang this thing.
Oh yeah. The beauty incarnate.
We walk down the beach and into the shrine.
All right, there we go. We're nestled in.
Expertly installed?
Yeah, I think so. If you happen to stop by, send us a picture. Let us know it's still up here.
That would be awesome.
Anyways,
All right.
we've done it.
Come on out of there.
I'd love to.
Success. Time to head back home to Drifter.
Ready?
Well, that's it for this week. Tune in next time to see we're not the only thing flopping around.
Okay.
Okay, now
My
what?
knife out.
Where's your knife?
It's in the... So we're ready. Welcome to Laredo. And I'll tell you what, man. When people say that it is too hot in Mexico in the summer, they're right. I swear to God. I know it's hot, but it's like you can't quench your thirst. Despite the mackerel cooling your backside. Burns so good. Yeah, this looks like it could get you in trouble real quick. I don't hike in the heat. What are you doing? She's coming, don't worry. Don't worry about Kelly. The north side appears to be much more protected.
Chris is down here. Oh,